Hi, my name is Priscilla, and I'm the Director of Information Security for a small organization in Scottsdale, Arizona. Um, I initially fell in love with the idea of cybersecurity from a hacker movie and some hacker friends when I was much younger. I always thought it was really cool. I didn't know there was a whole field dedicated to protecting um, from bad actors. I always thought it was just some technical scammers, being people doing illegal things, and police were the ones that caught them. When I finished my bachelor's and then decided to do cybersecurity as my master's, that is when I discovered what cybersecurity really was. And I love the idea of protecting and defending data, people, and assets from bad actors and ethical hacking. Since I manage a whole security program, part of my day to day job as a cybersecurity professional is vulnerability management. This starts with knowing what assets you have. These assets can be endpoints, cloud, code libraries, on premise servers, basically anything connected to the internet that transmits sensitive data, internal and external facing. On a day that I focus majorly on vulnerability management, my tasks and responsibilities include reviewing the vulnerability management tools that scan our environments on a regular schedule. And these tools, they give us reports. And the reports uh, are findings of the vulnerabilities that are in these environments. We regularly run these tools and regularly review these reports. Um, And then we conduct vulnerability assessments to categorize the vulnerabilities based on risk, and then we schedule any patching with IT. Anytime there's any new system that's integrated into our environments, we add a new scan. During the next report or the next scan, um, as part of our regular scanning process, we check to see if those vulnerabilities have been remediated and patched. Another part of vulnerability management is subscribing to RSS feeds to monitor highlights of new vulnerabilities, such as CVEs, and what those and emerging threats that could affect my organization. When a patch is not available, we apply um, and document exceptions. And then we determine some compensating controls around the risks that those vulnerabilities have. And sometimes we do just config changes. This helps to reduce and mitigate any risk altogether, or mitigate all the risk altogether. We maintain findings and for our compliance and reporting. Sometimes these vulnerabilities are major and can affect our organization and require immediate attention, and that has to be communicated to management. We continuously update our tools and review the scans and configurations. If you don't know what a vulnerability is, it's basically a weakness or flaw in a system, application, or a network, or even a process that can be exploited by a threat actor. Um, so, for me, the most difficult aspect of working in cyber when first entering the field was gaining experience, figuring out how to showcase my skills, and gaining the confidence I needed to get over the imposter syndrome that I had or was feeling. Working as a lecturer helped to maintain my skills. I also helped to manage that challenge by participating with organizations like Women in Cybersecurity and participating in their mentorship programs. This helped me gain confidence. This helped me with my resume and interview prep. CTFs also helped showcase my skills. Um, that was a major factor in being able to, grow and gain experience. Um, and also in my job at the time as doing IT and system administration, I tried to apply cybersecurity in any which way I could. This helped showcase my skills. Once you get a job in cybersecurity, it doesn't stop there. A woman, a WSIS mentor once told me that sometimes it's just what are the facts versus what are your feelings. So try not to compare your skills to other skills. Remind yourself the value you bring and the skills you have to contribute. Make your voice heard, be bold and authentic. Over the years, cyber threats have evolved because our environments have evolved. We've gone from on prem to cloud. We've gone from um, doing things manually, scripting manually, to DevOps. Our code has evolved. Um, Also, with the advancement of AI, the speed of attacks have become way more sophisticated. This has influenced my approach to cyber by making me realize that we also have to become more sophisticated in our defense. We have to stay on top of our tools, on top of emerging threats, and become proactive, trying to predict where vulnerabilities can occur. Implementing improved access controls such as SaaS applications, multi-factor authentication, zero trust networking in cloud technologies, and just trying to simplify and automate as much as we can to find and detect these vulnerabilities. Um, as I have many initiatives and projects, I can't really pinpoint one I have to say that I found impactful or rewarding. I think the most rewarding, impactful part of my job is being in a position of leadership in such a short amount of time and being able to inspire others so they can do it as well. I've had women and people at my organization tell me that they don't see uh, women in leadership in cybersecurity very often, and that's inspiring to me. This makes me want to continue to the next step and help others along the way, the same way I've been helped. Giving back, helping others, and inspiring others is rewarding to me. Um, for anyone watching this, I want you to remember that your dream will come true, but you must have the grit to not give up and balance to not burn out. Surround yourself with support, advocates, community, mentors to help you along the way. Thank you.